Hello and welcome back to Genshin Impact. Today, we're going to be doing this event. And it requires us to go to the Adventure Guild in Leeway. Damn it, not voiced. Seems that the situation has been getting worse over the last 2 days. The exploration team's movements will be limited as a result. Who can I get to take this commission up? What's going on? Jaryuma and Paimon. Your timing truly is impeccable. Impeccable, you say? Sounds like we've got trouble on our hands again. For reasons unknown, some dark mud-like substance has come pouring out of the caverns and mines of the chasm lately. It is a very sudden affair, and the exploration team has yet come up with any countermeasure, and so investigations there have started and stopped several times. As such, Kadive has asked the Adventurers Guild to send help. Dark mud stuff. Isn't that thing from beneath the chasm? That's exactly the substance I speak of. I do not know why it has reached the caverns and mines, but either way, the exploration team's progress has been stymied, and even their day-to-day movements have been affected. After all, they rely heavily on the mining tunnels for the transportation of goods and materials. How long has this been going on? For some time now. Kadive says that he's found a researcher from Sumeru who can help him out, but that researcher seems to need help themselves. I must admit that this has been troubling me ever since. You know, Kadive probably pays pretty well. Has no one stepped forward? No, I'm afraid. Mostly owing to the extreme danger that the dark mud poses, quite a few people actually came on account of the reward, but the moment they heard it was a chasm, they quickly declined. To make things trickier, most adventurers are not very familiar with the chasm's layout, so the one who accepts this commission will have to be someone with no fear of danger and who knows the chasm like the back of their hand. And just as I was puzzling over this matter, you two dropped by. So that's how it is. Things do seem quite serious, Jaryuma. Suppose we could help Kadive out. Then let's go now, shall we? About that. Kadive did say that you just have to look for that other researcher from Sumeru. Or to quote him verbatim, if anyone's willing to help, tell them to go to the campsite at the chasm. That guy will be there prepping, just as usual. Alright, we'll be off then. Thank you. The chasm's safety is in your hands. Okay, so to the chasm. I just realized if I'm going to be down here dealing with mud, I probably need this equipped. I didn't think that the environment here would be so unique. In that case, the energy system of the Persina Spike will... Jaryuma and Paimon. It has been a while. Why are the two of you here at the chasm? Actually, I do recall Kadive saying that you'd help the exploration team out a lot. That said, the situation in the chasm has been worsening. It's no place for a walk in the park. Wait, you are... Oh, come on. Didn't we just meet a short while ago? I mean, I do always end up asking for your help, but that's no reason to pretend that you don't recognize me. Forget it. In that case, allow me to introduce myself once again. I am host Siny, a researcher at the academia. I've been working on a device known as the energy amplifier, and I even went to Inazuma to do some reference work there. However, I've run out of operating funds for my research, and so I have to return to Sumeru. Okay, Paimon thinks she remembers you now. You do? You're Amplifier Man. Quite sure that I've never introduced myself as such. Whatever the case, I received a request from a fellow researcher named Kadive. I owe him a favor regarding research funds from way back. So I'm here at the chasm to help him solve this problem. Well, I hope that explanation's clear enough. In which case, let me ask the question. Why are you two here at the chasm? Well, we also just so happen to have received a commission from Kadive. Ah, so that's you. And I think I was worried when Kadive mentioned that he was going to get some people to help out. Since it's you, I guess there's nothing to worry about. I must admit that if I were to attempt to resolve the Dark Mud issue here at the chasm myself, it would take a lot of time and energy. But with your help, our odds are, well, higher. What do you need us to do? You've heard of the Persona spikes, right? A device that can release energy that disrupts the ley line. According to my hypothesis, we can place the spikes at points where the dark mud is pouring out to disrupt the ley line movements and clear it away. Is the dark mud even related to the ley lines? Well, they did appear based on anomalies in the ley lines, so it is very likely that they are related. That's what Kadive and I have discussed anyway. So we can use the spike to disrupt or even close the openings that allow the ley lines here to access external elements, which will stop the dark mud. I see. However, we were previously just using the spikes to disrupt the ley lines. This is the first time I'm using the spikes to seal them. I have done some estimations and adjusted some of the spikes parameters. In theory, nothing should go wrong. But theory is, as you know, ultimately theory. Theories must all be tested. I was just thinking of beginning the initiation process, or initialization process. In fact, but it has some risks. Well, allow me then. Alright, I'll leave it to you. I will observe from the sides. Okay, so we run up to that. I didn't know. Interesting. The dark mud oozing forth from the ley lines will buff nearby enemies. Nearby monsters, whatever. Increasing their attack and defense greatly. When these monsters are in areas covered by the dark mud, their abilities will be further increased. Monsters will attack the Persona spike constantly, and the surrounding area will flood over with dark mud. Clear the mud to weaken the creatures, and defeat them to prevent the spike from being damaged. Okay. Okay, we can recharge here. So, let's start. Dark mud, why is it flowing out from there?
Gather.
Shadows of fate.
Okay, you can't get rid of the aura with that.
Gather.
Shine down. Let me scribe. Brace yourself.
Damn, they're really sitting a lot of enemies.
Solidify.
Shadows of fate. Here we go. Illusion shattered.
You're kidding me, a fucking Hitler.
Solidify. Order guide you. Solidify.
Shine down. Let me scry. Let's play. There is no escape. Shadows of fate.
Okay, so 3 more.
Solidify.
Huh, I was expecting one of them to be a Hitler.
Let me scry. Here we go.
Why did they get wet? Oh yeah, I had her shit out.
Illusion shattered.
Solidify.
Brace yourself.
Damn, barely beat that too. And that was the first one, fuck. Didn't you say that theoretically there wouldn't be any problems? The spike wound up causing the dark mud to gush out instead. Ah, is that how it is? And to think that it did not factor the ground into my calculations. What an error. Did not account for the ground. Factor the ground into your calculations. That's right. Our previous experiments all took place on softer soil. But within the chasm, the medium through which the spike's energy travels is not soil, but rock, which has very different properties. This caused a major discrepancy between the earlier calculations and the actual results. Okay, that makes sense now. Indeed, theory is not a mere matter of imagination. Instead, it must be grounded and proven in reality. This proving process seems kinda dangerous though. Also, why did so much mud come out all at once? Indeed, this place is quite far from the mining complex, so the mud really shouldn't be flowing all the way here. The situation must be more urgent than we imagined. Also, the Persina spike has a definite effect on environments affected by the dark mud. This shows that the mud's proliferation is, as I guessed, an issue that stems from the ley lines. This proves the need for experimentation and proof, does it not? Of course, if I had done the experiment myself, I would have wound up being attacked by the monsters. Not that I worry about being injured. That would be a small loss compared to any damage that might be done to the Persina spike. How would I answer to our great tutor Furnace or my fellow researchers in the Jaryuma War? You should pay more attention to your own safety nonetheless. True, the data we've collected can be used to adjust the results of our calculations. Now, the solutions to these interfering parameters, I believe there are 4 such methods, though there should be only one that will prove most effective. Thank you so much for helping me with this test run, Jaryuma. I'll make some adjustments to the Persina spike. Later, it can be moved to the mining complex, where operations can then begin. By yourself? Well, no. I had agreed with Godive to hire some of the local miners here to move it. But when they heard that my objective was to resolve the issue of the dark mud, they refused any payment. I've spoken to Godive and Mooning from the Ministry of Civil Affairs, however. The Mora will still go to them as compensation. Of course, I'll need you to help start the machine up once it reaches its destination. Okay. Wait till the next day. So, let's wait.
Osmanthus wine tastes.
Okay, he's all the way over here now. Feel like I should get rid of this mud in advance. Okay, there's a regeneration spot here. There's one up over there. I really should have one about here too. Oh wow. Alright. You're here. Yep, we're here to help. I was just checking the Pristina spike. I must say that Leeway's miners are made of stern stuff. Just 2 of them were enough to transport the spike here. But since the spike has some very fine moving parts, I need to check if it has been affected while in transit. In theory though, everything should be fine. That's what you said the last time too, and you nearly got Paimon and Jaryuma into deep trouble. Well, I did also say that there is a difference between theory and reality. However, I made sure to check everything before you came. Everything has been prepared, and once initialized and in operation, the spike will not need any initial elemental energy input to maintain its charging state. Wait, it doesn't need any initial energy? It will just keep charging? Yes, before I had to adapt it to Inazuma's environment, so I modified it such so that it could only charge and operate through the use of Electro. However, that is not the original operating mode of the Pristina spike. Originally, it was intended to function in this sort of environment. In fact, this dark mud is its power source. The mud provides power to the spike. That's right. That's why the spike is perfectly suited to solving this issue. If you consider it, this dark mud issue we're having in the chasm has both symptom and source, both of which must be resolved. Of these, the source is the ley lines. Exactly. As such, we must nip the problem in the bud by sealing the openings in the ley lines through which the dark mud is spewing out. Of course, the sealing of the ley lines will not completely solve the problem of the dark mud that has already come out. However, the Pristina spike has the ability to absorb the energy within the dark mud and decrease its power as a contaminant. This is what we call fixing the symptoms. This way, the dark mud that has already reached the surface will serve as a power source of the Pristina spike. And as the spike continues operation, it will close the ley lines from which the mud is spewing forth. As for those monsters who have been affected by mud due to long-term exposure, they will lose the enhancements they get from it and be weakened. Oh, that's 3 birds with 1 stone. You know what? This Percy Spike C is better than Paimon saw. It's called Pristina Spike. Pristina's brilliance truly is such that one might almost believe that the spike was specifically made to solve problems such as these. If that guess of mine is true, then the whole process of solving the dark mud problem could serve as valuable experimental data in the future. Who knows? This research might even allow me to discover some hitherto unknown principles behind how Pristina could affect the ley lines using certain devices. The subject has great value, honestly. If I could win the Academia's Kavakavas prize with this, that would be wonderful. What's that? This is a prize that the Academia gives out especially to young researchers. Young? You don't look young to me. Every year, the sages will go over the research reports sent in and cast votes to select the winner. The criteria for winning are that the subject must be groundbreaking, creative, and the person sending the report must have great potential, and be under 40 years of age. All those who have won the Kalikalis Prize while under the age of 40 would go on to win great renown in the academia. That sounds awesome. Well, let's start the spike up right now. Let's hope it solves our problem. That said, please take note, Jaryuma, that while the Pristina spike is a very impressive piece of equipment, it is also quite intricate and fragile. If it is hit while operating, or if it is submerged by dark mud, which can cause fouling, the spike will turn off automatically to prevent any further damage. As such, please beware of the mud and of the monsters while you operate the device. So I'm gonna have to... The Pristina spike will continuously purify the environment while charging up. The challenge is considered a success once charging completes. The Pristina spike will enter a faulty state for a time if it is attacked, causing charging to temporarily stall. Additionally, using blooming light while the spike is operating normally will clear out nearby oozing concentrations, granting the spike additional energy and speeding up the charging process. Okay, so that's something I probably have to do. Well, why didn't that work? Oh, monsters came out, really?
There is no escape. Shadows of fate.
Don't hit that thing.
Shine down.
Okay, I'll come over here and recharge. Got 2 more to get rid of. No!
There is no escape.
Stabilize.
Wait,
Let me scry. Yahoo!
damn it, it was hit.
This is order.
Illusion shattered. Here we go. There is no escape.
Damn it.
Order guide you.
Illusion shattered. Now you shall perish. Ha!
Wasn't there another one somewhere? Alright. Well, it wasn't too bad. The effects are better than I thought. We've recorded all the phenomena we've seen and the data we've collected. Most importantly, the dark mud was completely cleared. It's just that... Huh? Why do you look so unhappy? Is it a bad thing that the mining complex is all clean? Let me think. Well, Godive and I analyzed the situation previously. We believe that the opening in the ley lines through which dark mud came should be here. I don't think that such an opening would have been this easy to clear out, so the true entry point must be elsewhere. And in this case, the affected areas also include frontline mines. Exactly. This means that the point through which the dark mud is flowing in is in the tunnels. Such areas will be far more narrow, allowing for greater buildup of the mud, and making it easier for monsters to swarm in, thus worsening our problem. Still, I have full faith in the Persina spike. It is, after all, Persina's great creation. Just let me do a bit of maintenance work on it first. I'll call the miners who've agreed to move the spike into the tunnels over. Okay, we'll wait another day. Definitely, yeah.
Another test. That tingle eye.
Okay, first, let's see.
Careless.
What the fuck just hit me? Huh. Oh, that ain't how I get energy back. Ah, here's how. Okay. You're just in time, Jaryuma. We were just discussing how to move the Persina spike in. I must say, however, that the situation is far more serious than we anticipated. This is bad. There's too much dark mud here, and it's crawling with monsters attracted by the mud. We can't move the spike in. We can't find any path forward at all. We're still a long way off from the mining tunnels. Come on, we've got to try again. If it still doesn't work out, let's go back out there and grab a few more buddies to help out. I mean, am I not two of the mining superstar? I can carve through a mountain with but a few swings of my pickaxe. These monsters are no match for me. Let's get moving. Bah, keep on faking. We'll see how much redder your face can get from all that coughing. Nonsense. We can't proceed any further in. Long-term exposure to this mud will have severe consequences. The large number of monsters makes things even more dangerous. But we all saw it, didn't we? We put the machine in the mining complex, and it was cleaned up just like that. If we could just get rid of all this mud sooner, this isn't the time to be prizing speedy solutions, whether it be in experiments or in problem solving. Proceeding without preparation and proper examination is too rash. One mistake could cost lives. Your own life is of utmost importance. This is one of the basic axioms of the Academia's lab manual. As a researcher from the Academia, I cannot simply stand by and allow such foolhardity. But if we stop, who's going to do something about all this mud? If it continues to attract these monsters, it wouldn't matter if you brought another 20 people. We wouldn't make any headway. Let me think. If this really is unworkable, we could activate the spike once more over here first. Here? That's right. I just give the dark mud emissions a once over. And though they are faster than how they were the day before in the mining complex, this is not yet the heart of the problem. So the purification rate should be quicker than the rate at which dark mud can flow out. These monsters in the chasm were attracted by the dark mud. I suspect that they must be affected by its energies. So setting spike up here and increasing the mud's influence in the vicinity should also be of help to you, Jaryuma. If we clear the mud out, The monsters should stop congregating. Once that's happened, we can try moving the spike further in. Then let's do it. You two, head back to camp and rest first. We'll have need of you later. Come on, I don't need rest yet. We just... It's not time for the mining superstar to lay his pickaxe down just yet. If it's clearing monsters, I can help out too. Quit the tough guy act already. I've seen this pattern of yours before. This is Jaryuma we're talking about. Where he gets to fixing things, there's little people like you and I have to fear. We'll leave the dark mud in this area to you, Jaryuma. Leave it to me. Just relax. Ah yes, Jaryuma. This entire area is covered in mud. The situation is far worse than I thought. There are also a lot of monsters nearby. Stay on your toes. I'll take care of myself. No, I mean, stay on your toes regarding the Persina spike. I have full confidence in your abilities, but less so in the awesome yet fragile spike. Please, make sure that the spike makes it through unscathed. Okay. As you defeat all opponents within the time limit, the Persina spike in operation will release shockwaves at intervals that will deal damage to opponents they hit and dispel the buffs that those opponents possess. The arena will constantly brim over with dark mud. Once this mud covers the Persina spike, it will cause a fault that prevents the spike from unleashing shockwaves. Use blooming light to destroy oozing concentrations to maintain the spike's operation such that it may continue to aid you. Okay. Kill 29 monsters.
There is no escape. Shadows of fate. Brace yourselves. Illusion shattered.
Solidify.
Inazuma shines eternal.
Fuck, they got shields. So I wasted the ult, really.
Stabilize.
Shine down. Delve into destiny.
Where's the next group of monsters? Where's the next group of monsters?
There is no escape.
I will have order.
Now you shall perish. Shine down.
Fucking win.
Gather.
There is no escape. Here we go. I wouldn't click.
Okay, just 2 more. Oh, fuck.
Solidify.
Illusion shattered. Shadows of fate.
This is order. Solidify.
These are the guys that hit shields get stronger. as I should have expected of you. As I should have expected of you, I suppose. Now the dark blood and monsters are gone with minimal damage to the pursuing Spike. I am most glad that you were the one I've got to help us out. If it were anyone else, I doubt they could have solved this issue quite so handily. Well, I am pretty good at what I do. Indeed, that is plain to see. The two miners, Tu and Hao, have headed back to rest. Looks like it'll be difficult to move the Spike back right away. But clearing the mud out as we go isn't a good idea either. The closer we get to the area venting the mud, the more intense the rate at which it will just keep flowing out. We have to stop this problem directly at its source. Looks like we need another solution. Alright, I think I'm gonna call this one here. If you watched this, thanks for watching.
Written in the stars.
I really just used all. Oops. Oh wow. If you watched this, thanks for watching. Hopefully finish this event up in the next one. Have wonderful lives and peace.